It is easy to do the things that we're supposed to do when we're at the beginning stages and we're excited and we're motivated to get the job done. But for a lot of us, we allow our temporary emotions to get in the way of us doing what we're supposed to be doing because we just don't feel like it. And it's my desire for you to develop an anyway mentality. And so we're going to be talking about 4 ways to be productive even when you don't feel like it. Welcome to the Dream Lifestyle Podcast, your place to build your faith and master your craft. Before we get into our conversation, let me know in the comments, what are you doing right now to intentionally grow? What are you doing, whether it's personally, professionally, relationships, financially, whatever it is, what are you doing to grow in this season of your life? Okay, like action steps, what are you doing? And what I want to also tell you with whatever it is that you're thinking about, whatever it is that you're writing down, whatever it is that you're doing, there will come a time, there might even come a season when you don't feel like doing whatever it is you're supposed to do. Whatever it is that you've committed to doing, you've written out your goals, you have a vision board, you have accountability partners and all that stuff. There will come a time and or season that you just don't feel like doing it. But really great people, successful people, the 1%ers and the people, high performers and everything like that, they know how to do things even when they don't feel like it. And let me also break this myth too when it comes to, well, I should always, there are some people who might feel like, well, I should always be, excited and motivated to do it. Listen, the reality is, talking to real people here, the reality is it's okay to not always feel like doing the thing. It's okay. You're human. It's okay to just not feel, to not want to go to the gym. It's okay to not want to eat another salad. It's okay to not want to wake up in the morning. It's okay to feel it. It's okay. But where people mess up is the handling of those emotions in terms of how they respond once they identify, I don't feel like doing this. But it's okay if you're able to be honest with yourself and say, I don't feel like doing this today, but you do it anyway, versus the person who says and recognizes, I don't feel like doing this today. So yeah, today's just going to be an off day. And the reason why that's so dangerous is because that one time turns into 2, turns into 4, turns into a week, turns into a month. And the next thing you know, the very great habit that you started, the very great routine that you started, the practice that you started, the action steps that you've been taking, you lose and halt all momentum because of temporary emotions, simply because you have the internal dialogue saying to yourself, I don't feel like doing this. And it's my desire for you to be able to, again, I'm not telling you to not feel, to feel up to every single thing all the time. I'm not telling you to feel up to, going to the gym and saving the money and saying no to friends and everything like that. I'm not telling you to always feel up to it. But what I am telling you to do, and my desire for you, is for you to be productive anyway. And an anyway mindset that we're talking about is basically stopping negotiating with yourself. Having an anyway mentality basically says, you know what, I'm very clear on what it is that I have to do in order to achieve my goals, and I will do whatever I have to do anyway. Even if I don't feel like it, I will do it anyway. Even if it's really difficult, I'm going to do it anyway. Even if I will do it anyway. And this is a very powerful thing because too many people are negotiating with themselves to do what they know they should be doing. And what's even worse, there are people who negotiate with themselves so much and they don't do the things, but then they're upset why they don't have the fruit of that labor that they didn't feel like doing. And so it's my desire for you to be able to feel, okay, I don't feel like doing this, but I'm going to do it anyway. And so that way you can actually achieve your goals for this year and beyond, really. Because this is like it's like a mental muscle. When you develop this mental muscle of I'm going to do it anyway, your entire life is going to change. Because I'm telling you, the reality is there will be days when you don't feel like doing the thing. Okay. But that's why I'm going to be sharing with you 4 ways in which you can develop this anyway mindset. And the first thing is you have to have a strategy you believe in. You need to have a strategy that you actually believe in, a strategy that you actually would put some weight behind it, that you would have no problem sharing it with somebody else and being 100% confident and even certain, like certain. If I do these things, whether it be at a cadence of every day, once a month, every quarter, whatever it is, if I do these things, I will achieve my goal. You need to have a strategy that you believe in so much, so that way, when it does come time for the feeling of, I don't feel like doing it, I'm tired, I'm just not in the mood for that today, whatever it is, when it does come, okay, I'm turning down something that, that I know is going to hurt me. Like, there is no ambiguity about, so because when we negotiate with ourselves, the inner thought becomes, well, it's just one time. It's not going to be that bad. It's not that big a deal. Well, when you have a strategy that you really believe in and that you're very certain will lead you to the success that you want, to achieving your goals, you realize that it is a big deal. And it's not, it's objectively like a big deal. It's not, it could be anyone. It's not just because it's your strategy or anything like that. It's literally, no, this is a big deal. And if I don't do this thing, I won't be able to have what it is that I want to have or achieve or look the way that I want to look, whatever your goal is, fill in the blank, right? But you need to have a strategy, like real action steps that you actually believe in. So that way, when the feelings of, I don't feel like doing this come, you're not saying to yourself, oh, well, it's no big deal, can do it tomorrow, right? You don't have those types of feelings, or you won't make those types of decisions simply because you have a strategy that you really believe in and that you're confident in. All right. So number one, you need to have a strategy that you really believe in, because that strategy piece is so important, because it just speaks to being prepared as you take the action steps. So that way you understand, what you're doing. Like, there's a clear plan. There's a clear plan for this. Okay. Now, the second thing that you have to do, so that way you're able to be productive when you don't feel like doing anything, is you need to understand your big picture. Understanding your big picture helps you basically walk in purpose, because purpose has nothing to do with you. It has everything to do with everyone else. And when you think about the action steps that you are taking to achieve the goal that has purpose, because you should have purpose-driven goals, the purpose-driven goals, you understand that the action steps now become bigger than you. I'll give you an easy example. For me with this podcast, I cannot tell you how many times there have been pods that I just did not feel like doing. I did not feel like setting up the cameras. I did not feel like doing the video editing, whatever the case is. But I did it anyway, because I understand the big picture of this podcast. Because I know that there are some of you that listen and you really get something out of listening. You really get something and receive something when I'm able to share with you information that I've lived out in my own life, really. And I'm able to teach basically principles for personal growth. But I understand that this podcast is bigger than me. So when it does come time for, I really kind of don't feel like sitting down and recording. Oh, I don't feel like writing down scripts. Oh, I don't feel like, recording. I don't feel like video editing, whatever it is. When I do have those internal conversations with myself, because I have an understanding of big picture, I realize this is way more important than my temporary feelings. The job is the job. There's a job to do because there are people that I have to go help, because I understand my purpose. And because I have a purpose-driven goal with this podcast, as well as just with my business and everything like that, it makes it very easy for me when I don't feel like doing something to be productive anyway. But it's because I understand the big picture. So when you think about, again, creating a strategy that you believe in, you need to actually make sure that there is a big picture attached to that goal. Because any goal that is selfish, any goal that has no purpose, has no value. So when you think about, again, understanding your big picture, ask yourself or think about, how does my dream impact others? Think about, how does my dream help other people? How does my dream connect other people? How does my dream empower other people? How does it motivate other people? Whatever it is, your dream should serve a purpose. Your goals should serve a purpose. And that means your action steps are bigger than you. So when you do run into those seasons or those moments in those split second decisions of, man, I know I should do this thing, but I don't feel like it. But I also know that if I don't do this thing, there are people that are impacted by this. There are people that are affected by this. And so understanding your big picture is crucial for you to be productive when you don't feel like doing it. The third thing that you need to do, when you are trying to, be productive and you're trying to overcome this hump of, I don't feel like it, you need to understand the opportunity. Understand the present moment opportunity. Now, what does this mean? You need to understand, one, that these types of situations, these internal conversations and conflicts, so to speak, they're normal. That's number one. You need to understand it's totally normal as a human being for you to literally just look at the task and the thing that you're supposed to do and just be like, I'm not feeling it. I don't feel like it, right? One, that's normal. But two, when you understand the opportunity, you realize that this is an opportunity for growth. And I think this is important. It may seem really simple, but when you find yourself, alarm going off in the morning and it's 7 a.m. and you've mastered, or at least you're working to master getting up at 7 a.m. and it's you've gone a whole month now waking up at 7 a.m. But now it's February, because this is usually a time when people get a little shaky, right? When people fall victim to this, I don't feel like it. But when you understand the opportunity, when that alarm goes off, and you're like, man, I don't feel like getting up. I mean, I could stay in bed another hour, but I understand this could be a good opportunity for me to win the negotiations against myself. This could be an opportunity for me to really grow and develop my discipline, because discipline is the key. Discipline is what will allow you to keep going, not motivation. Motivation's great. I tell people all the time, I'm not here to be motivational. Motivation is cool. It has its place. But when you think about real growth, when you think about real change and impact, we need discipline, because discipline lasts. Motivation is very temporary. I can get someone motivated to do whatever it is that they know they're supposed to do, but that's gonna wane off and fade away within a week. But someone that has discipline, building discipline in any way mindset, they are the ones that really get things done. So we need to understand the opportunity that is presented to us when we're in those moments of, I don't feel like it. And the opportunity is, just to make sure you guys get it, the opportunity is that this is an opportunity for growth. This is an opportunity for me to win the negotiation with myself. And this is an opportunity for me to be disciplined, because discipline is the key. Okay. So you understand the opportunity. And then the last thing that you need, the fourth thing that you need to do things when you don't feel like doing them, the fourth thing that you need to be productive when you don't feel like it, is you need accountability partners. And you need real accountability partners. You need accountability partners that have their own level of discipline that preferably is higher than yours, so that way they are always challenging you to do better. And when you have these accountability partners, number one, you need to actually share with them your goals. Number two, you need to share with them your strategy to actually accomplish those goals. And number three, you need to actually be communicating with them often. Because when you communicate with them often and they are aware of, okay, this is what they are supposed to do, this is what you were supposed to do, they're able to effectively hold you accountable. So that way, if you don't do what you're supposed to do and they ask why, they're able to basically, again, hold you accountable in love, but with firmness. They're able to hold you accountable, so that way, okay, I have someone to answer to, so to speak, that if I don't do this, such and such is going to be upset with me. Like, if I don't do what I'm supposed to do, my wife is not going to be the happiest. If I don't do what I'm supposed to do, my kid is not going to be the happiest. If I don't do whatever it is I'm supposed to do, my mentor is not really going to take kindly to that, right? That's the power of accountability partners. And so when you think about How do you handle the decisions and the opportunities for growth when you don't feel like doing certain things? Having accountability partners will give you momentum necessary to build your discipline. And so when you're choosing accountability partners, like I said, choose people who have a level of discipline that you aspire to. Choose people that they themselves have a desire to develop in any way type of mentality. So that way you all can hold each other accountable to whatever it is that you are looking to achieve. And so when you do these 4 things, just to recap everything that we talked about, when we do these 4 things, number 1, we have a strategy that we believe in. Number 2, we understand our big picture. Number 3, we understand the opportunity. And then number 4, we have accountability partners. When we do these 4 things, you will find yourself being more productive than you ever have, simply because you know how to do things even if you don't feel like it. Well, I hope that this conversation was helpful to you. I hope that you were able to apply it. And so I'm going to ask you to share this with someone. I'm going to ask you to share this episode, share this conversation with someone that you know is striving for something. Share this with someone that you know has goals this year that they're taking very seriously. Share it, because this could be the very thing that they need to hear. And I believe that this is the answer to somebody's prayer. So be sure to share this as you prepare for next week's conversation. Go check out last week's conversation. I appreciate you. I'm rooting for you to win. Always remember, your dream is possible as long as you are willing to work for it. I'll see you all next week.